Hi everyone, it's Lauren and I'm here today with a haul for you of all the books that I got over December and Christmas. I actually wasn't expecting to have to do this video because I didn't put any books on my Christmas list because I thought, you know what? I've got quite a lot, probably don't need to ask for any more for Christmas. But it turns out I acquired a lot over the December months. The first few books that I have I got from the Penguin Platform Christmas party, which they had at the beginning of December, which was when a lot of bloggers and vloggers were invited to Penguin headquarters to hear some authors talk, to have some wine, some nibbles, to have a chat, and to pick up some books, so of course I went. We each got little goodie bags, one with a book of one of the authors that were there speaking and a second book which they had chosen. Then my little goodie bag had Our Endless Numbered Days in it by Claire Fuller, which I am so happy, I'm so pleased that my bag had one that I really wanted in it. This is about a little girl who was taken into a forest by her father or her grandfather perhaps, and he tells her that the world ended and that they're the only survivors. So it sounds really intriguing. I know a lot of people have enjoyed this book, so I'm really pleased to pick it up. What luck, eh? And because I had Claire Fuller's bag, I had the book that she'd chosen in there, which was Shirley Jackson, We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which again, I feel like is an amazing piece of luck because I really wanted to read some Shirley Jackson and I haven't before. So that's brilliant. So these are my little Claire Fuller bundle that I got. And then they also had some stands there with some arcs and like other piles of books, which you could just like take if you wanted to. It was so funny. We were just like moths to a flame, or I guess like ants at a picnic. That's probably a better a better metaphor. We were all just like, oh, books, can I take them? And I picked up two there as well. The first one is called My Name is Leon, which just looks quite interesting, and it's about two brothers, and one of them is white and one of them is black, I believe, and then one of them gets given away. So just looked quite interesting. The cover kind of grabbed me. It says, a brother chosen, a brother left behind, and the only way home is to find him. And the other one I picked up was called Anna and the Swallow Man by Gabrielle Savitt, and I literally don't know anything about this. I just love it. It just looks really spooky. And it says, on the 6th of November 1939, Anna's father had to go away for a few hours. He left shortly after 11 o'clock. He did not come back again. I also, when I was Christmas shopping for other people, obviously went to Waterstones, which is a really bad idea because I ended up buying books for myself. And I justified that by going to the independent publishers section and getting some books from independent publishers that I didn't want to buy online. The first one of these was The Blue Fox by Shom, which I have already read and already discussed in a previous video, but I also got two more of those. One of them is a collection of short stories, or it says fictions here, by Tanya Hirschman, which is called My Mother Was an Upright Piano. And the reason I got this was, one, because of the title, because I thought that sounded really cute, and the other one is that there aren't short stories and they're not poems, they're just very, very short. Some of them, that is 2 pages. Some of these are 1 page, some of them are a little bit longer. And I was quite intrigued by that concept of just very, very, very short stories, especially as I want to try and get into a little bit of poetry. So I feel like this will be a good bridging novel. And the last one I got was for quite similar reasons, which is Kai by Lukáš Tomin. I feel like rather than this being very short fictions erring into the kind of poetic side, it's just very, very poetic, continuous narrative. There are illustrations in there. It looks kind of dark and spooky, and this is published by Twisted Spoon Press, which I hadn't heard of before, so I just thought I'd give it a go, I guess, and see what it's like. And because the lovely people at Telegram saw that I had read The Blue Fox and enjoyed it, they sent me 2 other of Shom's works that they publish, which are The Whispering Muse and From the Mouth of the Whale, and these have been described as Melville-esque, and they both seem to take place either on islands or in the sea, or at least in that kind of Nordic area near Iceland. So I'm quite interested to get into these now. And then Pan Macmillan were very kind to send out a little Christmas box of some goodies, which is very, very lovely, and they had little gingerbread and bits and bobs in there, and after opening it I realised I should have taken a picture of that because it was wrapped really nicely in the little presents, but I just opened it like, yay, early Christmas present, and so I have no pictures for you of that beautiful box, but I do have some of the books that they sent me that particularly grabbed my attention. And so we have The Wren Boys by Caroline Duffy, which is one of her special Christmas poems, which is there's a series of these little books and they're all poems about Christmas, so that's really pretty. We also have A Whole Life by Robert Seethaler, which is about man's relationship with the landscape. Not Working by Lisa Owens, which is about a woman who quits her job in order to find her true vocation, and of course her life starts to unravel. Our Souls at Night by Kent Haruf, I hope I am pronouncing that correctly, which is about a widow and a widower who come together one night. And probably love ensues or something exciting. And finally, a graphic novel, Dan and Sam, which is about a couple that own a restaurant in London, I think. So that is a lovely lot of books there. I'm really excited to read those and let you know what I think of them. And finally, we have lovely bookish presents from my wonderful booktubery friends, which are really lovely. The first one is Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter, which was got for me by the lovely Mercedes and Mercy's Bookish Musings. We did a booktuber Secret Santa thing, and Mercedes got me. So she got me this, which is brilliant because I really wanted to read this. It's a selection of poems which are based on Ted Hughes's Crow, which is something else that I do want to try and read, and I think this might be a good way of easing into it. I don't know if I'm just being a bit silly and thinking that I need to be eased into poetry. I should probably just read poetry, but I just feel like, oh, this is kind of like poetry, maybe I should read that. Or this is kind of like another poem, maybe I'll read that one first. But that's kind of how I feel because I really want to read it and want to understand it, and I know it's fine, you don't have to understand it, but I just feel a bit nervous about it, so this will be really good, really helpful, I think. The next two were given to me by lovely Jean at Bookish Thoughts, and she got me a little graphic novel, or a little comic I suppose, The Snow Queen and Other Stories, which is illustrated by Isabel Greenberg, and these are just some really cute Hans Christian Andersen tales, so that was lovely. And she also got me Daphnis and Chloe, which is one of her favourite classics. I'm probably going to say the wrong word, Jean, I'm going to bully, like, I don't know, I'm like, oh, it's one of her favourite what is this? I don't know. But from what Jean has told me before, this is very funny, and it is about Daphnis and Chloe who fall in love, but they don't understand what sex is, or something like that. So they have to work out what it is that they have to do. And it sounds really good. I have spoken to her about it before and said that I want to read it, so it's a lovely, lovely gift from her. And the last book I have is a gift from Jen Campbell, which is Ali Smith, Free Love and Other Stories, which is a collection of her short stories, which I haven't read. So that is a wonderful, wonderful gift as well. So I guess that's my, oh, I know book haul, which is actually literally so many books. So I would be really interested to hear from any of you if you have read these. So I will talk to you below in the comments and see you in my next video. Bye! I've not yet had the experience of reading something like this and just going through the sentences going, yes Virginia, yes, yes, like I just agree with you, you're so right. And I really enjoyed reading it because she's so witty, and not being a great Woolf reader, if I'm honest, I was really